Hey guys, Bryan here with your March Summerlin update video. Unfortunately, last month I was unable to knock out a February update, so today we're going to cover the previous 2 months and then use the analytics to determine what trends are occurring in Summerlin as opposed to the rest of the entire valley. So first up, let's check out the sales. In January, we sold 94 homes compared to 97 last year. Last month, we sold 97 homes compared to 108 homes in February last year. Simply put, sales were down 3% in January and 10% last month. Ironically, this is the complete opposite as the rest of the Las Vegas Valley. While we were down 3% in January, the rest of the valley was down 13%. While we were down 10% last month, the rest of the valley was only down 4%. So go figure. Now let's check out the inventory. In February, we had 499 homes for sale, and now we have 500 homes for sale. Suffice to say, our inventory in Summerlin is incredibly consistent. Now this is great considering our inventory had actually jumped up 10% in January. Let's go ahead and break down the inventory now. 5% of the market are short sales, 2% are foreclosures, and a whopping 93% of Summerlin homes are, normal or traditional sales. While we're at 93%, the rest of the valley is only at 84%. So this means that Summerlin is much more stable than the rest of the valley since we have half the short sales and half the foreclosures than they do. Now let's cut to a segment I recorded for the March Las Vegas update video where I discussed overpriced sellers. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that for the past 6 to 9 months, I've been telling you that the market has plateaued, but yet about 40% of the sellers out there are completely out of their minds when it comes to list pricing. While you, and I know that the median price hasn't hardly changed since July when it plateaued at $200,000, it seems like every seller out there thinks it's 2013 and some mysterious buyer is going to show up with a whole bag of cash and overpay for their home. Now, as a result, almost half the available homes out there are worthless. They're so overpriced that buyers and their agents won't waste their time showing and or writing offers. I predicted that come this spring or summer, these delusional sellers will finally get the point. Well, finally we get a little help. Unfortunately, people naturally don't believe anything unless they read it in the paper or see it in the news. So just this past week, both the Review Journal and Vegas Inc. magazines ran articles stating that too many homes are overpriced. The reason they ran the story is because Keith Lynham, who's our president of realtors, put out a press release. This was a bold move since politics and honesty don't necessarily seem to go hand in hand. So what does this mean? It means that individual realtors have some ammunition now to implore some common sense into these delusional sellers. It's no longer a personal opinion, but rather a disconcerting trend. As a result, I think in the forthcoming months, you're going to start seeing some steady price reductions and a new, more realistic list prices. Okay, last but not least, this week's Sales Track released the 2014 Las Vegas Price Appreciation Map, as you can see on the screen now. What's most interesting when you study this map is how low the price appreciation is in Summerlin. While the rest of the valley seemed to average about 15% increases all the way up to 28%, Summerlin was only at about 10%. Now, 89134 North Summerlin was only 2.3%. That was the third worst in the entire valley. So what does this mean? In my opinion, while Summerlin is the most desirable location, and according to Zillow, West Summerlin was the third most searched zip code in the entire United States. Our prices peaked a long time ago. We were the first area to see these staggering overnight increases. Our prices on new homes borderline on absurdity sometimes. When you're $300 a square foot and not in a guard-gated community, something's got to give. Especially in the past couple of months, I'm not seeing homes sell for more than the previous sale. In fact, many neighborhoods are now selling below what the previous comps were. Now that the market has slowed down and plateaued, buyers are much pickier and patient. As a result, the older homes in North Summerlin are taking much longer to sell since they tend to be less desirable due to the fact that they require more updating and remodeling than their newer counterparts. As a result, homes in 89134 tend to sell for much less. This is the likely reason for such low appreciation up there. So what do we take from all this? Sales are a little sluggish, inventory is stable, and the word is finally out that sellers are asking too much for their properties. So moving forward, you can expect to see sellers lowering their prices much more than in the past. New listings should start to come right out of the gate with a more realistic list price. As a result, I think more sales will occur. I've got tons of buyers right now that are ready to buy, but every home we find is simply so overpriced, it's not even worth opening up negotiations with a seller. As the prices become more reflective of this market, these sideline buyers will start inking deals finally. We're now heading into the best time of the year for real estate, and the market is actually fantastic on both sides. As a buyer, there's no need to rush or panic. Take your time and find the right property at the right value. For sellers, the market's still great. Homes are still selling quickly. You just have to be more realistic. Make sure your agent hires a professional photographer and markets your property correctly. If the marketing and price are reflective of the actual value of your home, it should sell in 30 days, no problem. If it's been over 30 days, either your realtor isn't doing their job or you're simply overpriced. Well, that's it for this month, guys. Thank you again for watching. Please click here to subscribe and have a fantastic March, everyone.